is Nur ATIKAH binti ZULKIFLI, metric number 053492. Okay, so today I will talk about general overview and dimension of vocabulary assessment. Okay, so according to Ibadur Rahman 2012, vocabulary assessment will help the teachers to get information on how much vocabulary learning has taken place in the classroom and whether the teaching has been effective or not for students. So, it is important to determine the reasons of assessing vocabulary to make the assessment precise. The second one is the dimensions of vocabulary assessment. It contains 6 elements. The first one is informal versus formal. Second, discrete versus embedded. Third is selective versus comprehensive. Fourth, context independent versus context dependent. And then receptive versus productive. And the last one is size versus depth. Okay, so this is the general overview for assessing vocabulary. So the other friends will elaborate more on this topic. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad RIDHWAN, Muhammad RASHID. My metric number is 049097. Okay, so basically today I will be explaining about types of assessment in vocabulary. Okay, so basically we have two, which is the first one we have a discrete vocabulary, and the second one we have embedded vocabulary. Okay, under these two we have 4 types of assessment for discrete vocabulary, and we have 3 types of assessment falls under embedded vocabulary. Alright, for the first one, which is discrete vocabulary, we have the multiple choice question format. The second one we have matching formats. The third one we have sentence completion or gap fill items, and the fourth one we have translation. Okay, I repeat, the first one we have multiple choice question format, second one matching formats, third one sentence completion or gap fill items, and the fourth one we have translation. Alright, for the second one, which is embedded vocabulary, we have 3, which is assessing vocabulary in reading comprehension, assessing vocabulary in writing, and assessing vocabulary in speaking. So I repeat, the first one is assessing vocabulary in reading comprehension, the second one is assessing vocabulary in writing, and the third one is assessing vocabulary in speaking. So basically, discrete vocabulary and embedded vocabulary are the types of assessment, and the others are the ways how they're gonna assess vocabularies. So that is all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AINUN NAJIHA binti ARIFFIN 053462 from Tesla 5A. Okay, today I'm going to continue with the presentation, and I'm going to pursue in the example of vocabulary assessment, which is the previous presenter said that we have discrete vocabulary and embedded vocabulary in Malaysian vocabulary assessing. So the first one of the discrete vocabulary, we have multiple choice question, which is that the question that usually have A, B, C, and D, and we need to choose the right vocabulary. Depends on the question, on the vocabulary question. We put the example in our slide, and you can go look into that if you want to understand more while watching this video. And the second one also, we have matching formats. Matching format, we can use the pictures that interest to the student, and also like a numbering, which we have numbering and the statement, and the student need to arrange the statement according to the correct numbers, correct arrangement. And also we have sentence completion or gap filling item, means the filling in the blank question. And also we have translation, which is usually teacher do at in the class, where teacher said that I want you to translate this word into your native language, iaitu bahasa Melayu. Okay, so for the embedded vocabulary, it seems like the vocabulary indicates in the process. For example, in the reading comprehension, in the vocabulary in writing, and also in the speaking, which is the reading. Usually we have a cut or passage that contain the vocabulary in that passage, and the student needs to answer the question. Also could be multiple choice question, and according to vocabulary needed in the question. And for the vocabulary in writing, the assessment will provide few vocabularies and require the student to build a sentence, to write a sentence, or maybe write a passage, or maybe write a story according to their level, year 1, year 2, year 3, and until year 6. And last one, we have assessing in speaking, which is the teacher can do activity in like oral activity, maybe like role play, or maybe we have a dialogues activity, any kind of oral activity that requires speaking, and also included few vocabularies that introduced by the teachers at the beginning of the class before start the lessons.
Assalamualaikum. My name is ILHAM binti ARHAMAH. My matric number is 053941 and I am from TESOL 5A. So now I'll be talking on problems testing the skills, which is vocabulary, and there will be 4 problems that I'll be talking. Okay, the first problem is by testing the skill, which is vocabulary skills, it will be difficulties to estimate the size of a student's vocabulary. Why? This is because every student have their own ability and have their own size of knowledge of vocabulary. So this is why it is difficult for teacher to make the test. For instance, for slow learners, they might have a bigger knowledge of vocabulary than the slow learners. Alright, the second problem would be it is often difficult to decide which words should be included in the test and which words shouldn't be included. My explanation might be the same as the first problem. This is because every student might have a different size of knowledge of vocabulary. So teachers should choose the right words for to make sure that both type of students, which is the slow learners and the fast learners, can answer and understand the test. And the third problem is difficult to decide what is the criterion for knowing a word. And last but not least, certain tests do not give valid and reliable results. It is because every types of tests or have their own different outcomes. It is not only it doesn't mean that the outcomes would be same. And overall, I think that it is not only on vocabulary skills that might have problem. It is also for like reading, speaking, and writing might have the same problem. And because every skills, every kind of test might have pro and cons. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.